He woke up every morning with the same thought. I can't do this anymore. The alarm didn't just ring, it screamed. His phone buzzed with emails before his feet even touched the floor. Deadlines, messages, reminders. All waiting for him like a storm he had to walk into. Outside, the world was already rushing, honking, pushing, running late. And inside, he felt like he was running out of energy, out of hope, out of himself. This wasn't just a job anymore. It was a weight tied to his chest. He would look in the mirror, fix his tired eyes, take a deep breath, and whisper, "Just get through today." But every new day was only a copy of the last. The grind didn't stop, and neither did the exhaustion. Yet millions wake up like this every single day, pretending nothing is wrong. This is the story of one ordinary worker, someone who once believed the 9 to 5 was just a normal part of life. Like most people in the US, he had a job, bills to pay, responsibilities to carry. From the outside, everything looked fine, stable income, routine, structure. But from the inside, he was falling apart quietly. He wasn't lazy, he wasn't weak. He was simply drowning in a lifestyle that demands too much and gives back too little. He lived in a world where being tired was normal, being stressed was expected, and being overworked was admired. Every day he pushed through the noise, through the pressure, through the silent battles no one ever sees. And maybe this isn't just his story. Maybe it's yours too. Because sometimes, the hardest part of surviving the 9 to 5 isn't the work it is, pretending you okay when you breaking a little more each day. Every day began the same way: exhausted eyes, a forced smile, and a silent prayer for strength. He dragged himself out of bed, not because he wanted to, but because he had no choice. The commute felt like a battlefield: traffic, noise, deadlines chasing him before he even arrived. At work, tasks piled up like mountains, and expectations grew heavier by the hour. No matter how much he did, it never felt enough. Emails arrived faster than he could breathe. Lunch breaks disappeared. Appreciation was rare. And behind every coworker's smile, he could see the same quiet exhaustion he carried inside. Then came the moment that finally broke him. It wasn't something big, just a simple message from his boss, criticizing something minor. But after months of pressure, it felt like a punch. His chest tightened, his hands shook, and for a second he couldn't breathe. He sat in his car after work, staring at the steering wheel, wondering how his life had become this cycle of stress and survival. He wasn't crying because he was weak. He was crying because he had been strong for far too long. That night he realized he wasn't living anymore, he was just enduring. It took that painful moment to wake him up. Burnout wasn't a sign of failure, it was a warning. A signal that he needed to step back and reclaim a part of himself he had lost along the way. He finally admitted the truth. I can't keep living like this. He realized he had been pouring from an empty cup, giving everything to a job that gave nothing back. It wasn't about quitting. It was about protecting his mind, his energy, his life. For the first time in years, he asked himself what he needed: rest, boundaries, space to breathe. Change didn't happen overnight, but day by day he began rebuilding himself. He set small boundaries, closing his laptop on time, taking real breaks, saying no when he needed to. He started walking in the evenings, listening to music he once loved, reconnecting with people who made him feel alive. Slowly, the weight lifted. He wasn't perfect, but he was healing. He learned that survival didn't mean pushing harder, it meant caring for himself first. The grind would always be there, but he no longer let it define him. He didn't escape the 9 to 5, he simply refused to lose himself to it. He learned something powerful on this journey: burnout doesn't happen because you're weak. It happens because you've been strong for far too long, carrying responsibilities no one else sees, fighting battles no one else knows about. And somewhere along the way, you forget that you're human. You forget you're allowed to rest. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to choose yourself. Your job may pay your bills, but it should never cost you your peace, your health, or your identity. So if you're tired, breathe. If you're overwhelmed, step back. Your worth isn't measured by how much you produce. Protect your mind, protect your energy, and remember, no paycheck is worth losing yourself.